everybody. This is Vessi Mink with Music Train, episode 10, season 3. Thank you so much for continuing to tune into this amazing show. Big up to Metaverse Generation, Mr. BK Han out of Singapore, the executive director, co-founder, and artistic director, whom I could not do this show without. I'm so grateful for you. Today, you guys, we have a very special exclusive. We have a love story that we're going to share today with Max and Kate. And they're actually with me and ready to go right now. So without further ado, I would love to introduce to the stage Max and Kate. Welcome to the Music Train.
Hey, Bessie.
Hi.
Hi, you guys. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. So we've got something very special here. We have a story that is going to be shared, I think, for the first time, correct? In such a way?
Yeah, with you, yeah. We've shared it with people before, of course, and it's a wild one. So I hope you enjoy it.
Yes, I love stories. I my parents, they have a beautiful love story. The Bulgarians are very loud when they party, and they have to invite the Germans, and because they're neighbors, and you have to invite everybody when you're going to have a party. And what ended up happening was a beautiful thing because my mother heard my father sing. So I love stories are my favorite. It's why we're all here. And so let's get into the story of Max and Kate. Please, after you.
Okay. So shall I start?
Yeah, because you met me earlier than I met you.
Yeah. Okay. So about it was New Year's 2020, and I was just expatriating from the US.
End of 2019.
Yeah, end of 2019. So my flight out of the US when I finally decided I was moving from the US was December 31st, 2019. I landed in Phuket, Thailand. Unfortunately, I couldn't actually get into my hotel because everyone was partying so much. The people who were supposed to check me in were even partying. And I had a friend, I helped co-found a boat tour business in southern Thailand. Cool. And my friend who ran the business had a Thai friend who also had a tour business. And it happened that during that week, he had booked a tour with a bunch of American women from New York. And we had a tour that was booked with a wealthy Thai family in Phang Nga. So he was anxious about doing this tour with the people from New York, and my friend was anxious about doing this tour with the wealthy Thai family. And I sat there as they were working out. I said, well, why don't we just switch places, right? Like, why don't you guys switch places, and I will go with the people from New York and take the speedboat to get back to Koh Phi Phi. So if you've heard of Koh Phi Phi Island, there's a movie called The Bay, right, with Leonardo DiCaprio. Mm-hmm. And we're there, and it was this wild ride where I'm on this bumpy speedboat. The Thai speedboat captains are a mess. They think it's funny that all the people from the people are like getting sick. People are throwing up all over the boat.
Oh, no.
The boat engines break. Okay, so it seems a little strange to start the story here.
How long into the well, you didn't know each other yet, correct? You had not met yet.
We'd never met yet.
Okay. So how long into the boat ride after the switcheroo how long were you traveling?
Well, just wait. So,
okay.
When I told you you're going to love this love story, Bessie, you're going to really love this love story. So,
okay, I know it.
So I take the speedboat out to Koh Phi Phi, right? And we leave from Phuket. I take the speedboat to Koh Phi Phi. And as we're going, we get to Koh Phi Phi. And when I get there, the tour goes great. We take the speedboat out to Koh Phi Phi Leh, which is the second smaller island that's right nearby. But while we were there, the hydraulics on the boat's engine had malfunctioned. So they couldn't lift up the boat engine to get over the reef again. Now, I was living on Koh Phi Phi. My house is on Koh Phi Phi at the time. And what that meant was that they couldn't get the speedboat back in and get the passengers, the group tour, back to Phuket where they were destined for. So I have a dry bag and all of my stuff and some free diving fins and my snorkel and mask. So I look at all of the people on the boat and I say, you know what? I tell the captain, I guess I got to swim back. So I throw I have to swim to the island. So I'm about 1 kilometer from the island and I've got my snorkel and my mask and my free diving fins. And I take my phone and all of my things. At the time, I have a Samsung phone, and the way the Samsung phones work is, Apple, you like click to take the screenshot.
Yeah.
But a Samsung, you like swipe across, right?
Right.
So my Samsung goes into my dry bag, and I don't lock the screen. And I get into the water. I put my snorkel on, and my mask, and my free dive. All my stuff goes in the dry bag. It gets bundled up. Dry bag goes on my back. Free diving fins, the big meter-long free diving fins. So you imagine I've got a mask and a snorkel and meter-long free diving fins. And I backflip off the back of the boat. I tell all the Americans, see you guys later. I got to swim to my house. And I swim 1 kilometer to the island. So I'm swimming the whole way, right? And when I get to the island, we had another tour, because it's a tour company, boat tour company, right? We've got multiple tours going. PP Island Boat Tours at Travel Pirate Tours. If anyone wants a little shameless plug, great tours.
Right on. Our sponsor this week.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go.
Your sponsor this week. And so essentially, I get there. There was another group. The previous night, I had been at the fish market to buy all the seafood for someone's birthday party. So as soon as I get to the beach, I swim up to the island, I get off and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. Like the seafood is still in the cooler. It's not there. The boat is there. I have to run. So I run to my friend's shop. I grab this cooler full of seafood. I throw it on my shoulder. I run down the beach. I get on the speedboat. I take the speedboat to another one of the beaches on the island where we're going to have a barbecue. And by that time, I'm exhausted. You can imagine all day on a boat. I'm burnt out. I get to my friend's house because there's no air conditioning installed in my house yet. And I pass out. I fall asleep. And I wake up about 7 p.m. And the first thing I do is I'm like, okay, I'm going to check. I'm on Koh Phi Phi. Let me look on Tinder and see let me check my phone and look on Tinder and see if there's any girls. And I open my phone, and while I was swimming, because I hadn't looked at my phone in all the hustle and bustle, I open my phone and there's a screenshot of a Tinder profile. There's a screenshot of a Tinder profile, and I'll pull it up. I can pull it up for you if you want, but there's a screenshot of a Tinder profile, and it's a picture of Kate.
What?
And
that's crazy.
I'm serious.
I believe you. That's crazy.
I
love it.
It gets crazy.
I have a feeling.
So there's a screenshot of this Tinder profile, and I look at her photo, and I look at it, and I'm just like, this is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life.
Oh.
This is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. And I show my friend, I'm like, dude, look at this chick. He's like, my friend, he's kind of the opposite of me, right? He's like, oh, there are so many girls here. We're in southern Thailand. There are 300 backpackers a day. You're never going to meet her. It's impossible. Let's just go down to the beach, go to the club. You'll meet a girl. I'm like, no. I'm like, dude, you don't understand. Like, there's something special about this girl.
Yeah, the circumstances of how it landed on, that's.
Yeah, he said, you will never, ever find her. He said, everyone is here for 2 weeks. He said, she's probably gone already. He said, let it go, man. I'm like, no, there's something special. I go on Tinder, I don't see her. I'm like, okay, I forget about it, right? But the screenshot is still in my phone. So, cut to
1.5 months later.
Yeah. You want to go?
I mean, it's still your part.
Okay, so
You guys are so cute. We're here
So
with
you're-
Max and Kate today on the Music Train. A love story, you guys. If you're just tuning in, this is the
all
first
right,
time we've done this.
so 1.5 months later, I happen to be in Phuket. So I've decided for the weekend, I've gotten off of the little island that I live on, and I'm going to go party at nightclubs and stuff like that. And, Bangla Road, all the chaos of Phuket, Thailand. And I'm walking down the street and
Wow.
I see this girl.
Oh, actually, I feel like it was my part.
Yeah, go ahead.
I used to live in Thailand for almost 3 years, and one night I was coming. I was. So first of all, I'm from Russia, and my English is like I'm still in the process to improve it. Thank you, Mimi.
I love you.
You sound great. So,
Thank you.
you're
I
welcome.
appreciate it. So, and I remember I was on the way to pizza company because I like to eat pizza at night. So, and I remember the guy, he's going, how do I say?
Passing?
Yeah, he's passing me. And then like some type of energy just made me look back. And I saw that he stopped and he looked back at me as well. And
Aw.
it was like a little bit weird for me, so I like whatever. I went to pizza place. I sat down. I was looking at the menu and I see legs standing right in front of my table. So I pulled my eyes up and I see this man. And you wanna say?
Yeah. So for me, I saw her. It was the exact same thing. I saw her, and I'm the type of person I'll talk to anyone, right? I'm very gregarious. I have no problem saying hello to people. No problem approaching girls. It's no big deal to me, right? And for me, I looked at her, and I made eye contact with her, and I was frozen. I was like in shock. I was like I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. And then she walked off into the pizza restaurant, and I was like, I guess I need to follow her into this pizza restaurant because like I have to talk to this girl. And so I walk in there and I walk up to her table and I ask her, I'm like, hey, are you eating dinner alone? Are you eating dinner alone? And if you are, do you want to eat dinner with me?
Aw.
And I said no.
Wait, you told them no. You said no.
Yeah, she told me. She was like, no.
Like, no. I couldn't even speak English, like nothing, zero.
She spoke no English at the time.
Anyway,
But did you know what he was saying? Did you understand?
yeah, I still could understand, but it's like very, very basic, very, very low level
Right.
English, like survivor level,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
so what he's
But
saying.
you knew he was inviting you to have dinner together, and you were like,
Yeah, I said no. And guess what he did? He just sat next to me, right?
I sat at the table next to her.
Oh,
I was like, okay, I guess we're not going to eat dinner together. But I was in shock. I was in shock.
So you already knew it was Kate. You knew that it was the picture,
Okay, but
the screenshot.
No.
Oh,
I didn't know. I didn't know that it was a screenshot because she had her hairstyle differently. Her hair looked different. I had no idea.
Incredible. That's incredible.
Like he were telling me some stories, and even I had zero knowledge, zero language. I still like something. I was like
Drawn. You were drawn.
something interesting was for me there, yeah. And I was
Yeah.
listening to him. And by the time when he offered me to give him a number, his cell phone was dead. So he offered me to what?
I offered to give her my number, right? Because I wasn't sure. I was like, okay, I've been like kind of weird. Like I'm being kind of a creep right now. Like, this is like, I was literally like, I'm being kind of a creep right now. This is not the way that I normally operate, but like I had to talk.
You
to
were
her.
like an autopilot. It sounds like
I was an autopilot. I
Yeah.
had to talk to her. And
Oh,
so I said, give me your phone. And like it was like being like it was like the first time I'd ever gotten a girl's number. Like my hands were shaking. you know, and I type my number into her phone.
That's it. He typed his number into my cell phone. He sent a message in WhatsApp. Never message wasn't delivered because his cell phone is dead, obviously, right? So I'm getting back home. Like I see message still not delivered. Month later, message still didn't delivered. Yeah, nothing, no response, nothing. And then I open Tinder. I see this man again in Tinder. What is it?
Super like.
Yeah, I super like him, and I'm asking him like, "What's your problem? Why don't you reply me? You were following me from the street to the pizza place. You left me your number. You never replied me. Like, what is going on?" And then he asked me, "Kate, is it you?" I'm like, "Yes." And I was.
Hold on, let me do my part now.
Okay.
Okay. So on my end, what happened is COVID, right?
Right.
So COVID lockdown happens. I was living on CoPP, and I told all my local, like my Thai fishermen friends and the boat captains there and the family, I was like, "Hey, you guys, like I think this might last longer than you think, you know? I'm gonna go to Phuket and buy us food." And they were like, "No, they're like, no, my friend, my pere, no problem." I'm like, "Jing Leo, problem, the big problem, mak. I'm like, "I go buy Phuket, buy cow soy." They're like, "My dai." I'm like, "Dai cup." So I was like, I knew.
You knew what you had to do. Yeah.
I knew that COVID was going to be messed up, and especially there in southern Thailand. And I was like, I'm getting us food. So I went to Phuket. I rented a truck. I filled a truck up with a whole bunch of rice, and I rented a villa. And so I'm in this villa, in the process of organizing, getting all this rice, cooking oil, eggs, canned mackerel. Like I'm basically stocking up on food, not just for me, but also for like, there's this place called Bon Tsunami, which when the tsunami hit Koh Phi Phi, all the local people who used to live on the beach, they got put into basically government housing. And they're all the boat captains and those are my friends. They're my family. They're in Thailand. And I'm like, I was like, you guys don't get it. Like there's going to be no tourism. You're going to have no money. We're going to be shit out of luck. We're going to have to work through this together. So I'm going to buy rice. Like I'm going to go get enough food that like, so, because I'm not going to go live up there I'm not going to live on the mountain while everyone has no money. And I'm like this guy from California who's like the rich foreigner, and then like slowly dole it out to people and have that whole, you know what I mean? Like have that whole dynamic form. I was like, I'm getting us stocked up on food. I took all the money that I had left, all the cash that I had left. I literally went and bought food with it. It's
amazing. I'm so glad you did
that. So, and when I'm in that house, I get the Tinder match. I tell my business partner, Rob, I'm like, bro, the girl from the screenshot, she matched me.
It's like
she super liked me.
3 months later.
This is like 3 months later. I'm like, she super liked me, bro. The girl, this is March, right? Because January is when I first saw the screenshot. This is March. I'm like, the girl from the screenshot, she super liked me. She like, he's like, bullshit. I'm like, no, she super liked me. And he's like, bullshit. I'm like, no, look. And then I hadn't even looked through her profile. It was while I was showing him, I'd show him the phone, and I'm swiping through the profile, and then I'm looking, and I'm like, and I can see other pictures of her, you know, because I only had one photo of her. Now I can see the other pictures, and I'm looking at, I'm like, wait, is this the same girl that I talked to that night?
I'm getting chills. That's crazy.
Is this the same girl that I talked to that night at the pizza shop? At the pizza company? Like, I'm like,
unbelievable.
I'm like,
amazing.
What? I'm like, what? And then so I messaged her. I was so nervous when I was giving her the number. This is like not in my character at all. Not in my character at all. Like normally with girls, like before this in my life, I was like, frankly, I was a womanizer. Okay. I was there. So like I literally was like so shaky. I forgot to put the last number of my phone number in her phone.
That's why
Oh, no.
messages were never delivered.
Oh, no, no.
Yeah. So we connected, and
by the time when I super like him on Tinder and he replied me when I asked him why you never replied me on WhatsApp, I was having dinner, and I've seen men who I used to see like few times, maybe couple days before this event, right?
Mhm.
He was like kind of weird because he was barefoot. He didn't look like Thai or Asian or actually anyone else
Mm-hmm.
in the world. He just was like alien. I don't know how to say. And he wore like dressed into like how to call it?
a
The long
gown.
dress.
Yeah, he was dressed in like an all white
Yeah,
gown.
and the weird part that I always saw him on the same spot, always. And he basically wasn't walking like and moving forward. He was just like on the same spot, on the same place.
Hmm.
And by the time when Max replied me, he said, "Kate, is it you?" I look up and I see this man again, and it was evening, so it was like dinner time. And this man, he cannot see me because like his face is like how in profile.
In profile, yeah.
Yeah. And but by the time when I look at him, he pointed his finger at the sky.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, and then I started chatting with Max, and man just disappeared.
So
I
then,
love that. I love
so
that.
then, so then, I'm messaging her and talking to her, and the thing is,
Try to send me voice messages, and I can't even understand
I'm
what
trying to
he's
send
saying.
her. I'm sending her voice messages. We're trying to talk. We're trying to talk, and I'm like, hey, do you want to come hang out? But I'm headed back to Kopipi, so I have to take all this rice and food that I've got. I've got to get back to the island and get back to my house.
Mhm.
And while I'm there, that night that I was there is the night that they closed all the airports in Thailand for COVID. So all of a sudden it's like airports are closed down, border provinces are closed, boat traffic is closed. So now I'm stuck away from my house, right? I can't even get a boat back to my house. I've got 2 tons of literally 2 metric tons of rice, 2,000 kilograms of rice, 50 20 gallon 25 gallon bottles of palm oil, like 3,000 eggs. You know what I mean? Like
Wow.
I've got all this food. I'll send you some pictures and I'll show you.
You're stacked, ready to
Stacked
feed.
up with food. And that night they shut everything down. So I told her, I'm like, hey, I gotta go. I'm going back to Kopipi. And at the time, there was actually at the time I was actually there was a chick that I had like a not like a
You were
like a
dating. You were dating.
No, it's not a dating.
no, I wasn't dating. It was
Oh.
like a vacation. She was like on vacation. She was like traveling, and I'd hooked up with her.
Mhm.
And I'd been like showing her around Thailand. We'd been hooking up for a few days while she was traveling there, but then she got locked down too.
Mm.
Right? So I'm locked down with this other woman. And so with that girl and my friend Rob, we go and I have to hop the Pong Na border province. I have to cross the Krabi border province. I load all the food into a longtail boat. I go out in a longtail boat. The engine breaks in the middle of the water. We repair the engine. We get back to Koh Phi Phi. I unload all the food. It gets given away to all the local villagers at the mosque. I get back to my house. I'm back on the island. I'm hunkered down. And, I've got this girl living with me. But I'm like, I don't know what to do because it was a tryst. You know what I mean? It was
all
like
you could think about was Kate. This
all I could think about was
yeah, I'm writing down. You guys were writing a song here, right? We're writing a song.
So all I could think about was Kate. So then it comes to a time when I get this message from Kate.
Yeah.
You want?
I just wanted to say that you were inviting me come to PP Island. I just didn't feel confident to go because I have no idea who you are.
Yeah.
And thanks that girl, she was there because as soon as you call me and I saw there's another woman, I'm like, okay.
So here's what happened. She messaged me and she was like, Phuket started to get bad during COVID. And she's like, I don't feel safe where I am. What would you do if you were in my position? I was like, well, you should leave. And I offered her, I asked the girl that I was living with, I was like, hey, it was COVID. I was like, hey, there's this girl, Kate. She's on Phuket and she doesn't feel safe there. And because I brought all the food, even though no one could cross border provinces, the governor of Krabi and the Thai government, they knew me and they were like willing to make a special allowance. I was like, I can get her here. I'm going to offer her, because my thought was not that she would actually come, but more from the place of like, sometimes when you're in a tough situation,
like being an ace for her, like in case she needed a place.
Yeah, and just that when you're in a tough situation and you're stuck, and then you've got that ace, then all of a sudden like that your mind opens up and other possibilities come, right? So that's how I was thinking about it. I didn't think she would actually come. I didn't really know her, but one day she was like, "Okay, yeah, I'm gonna come." And so she came, and they literally the governor of Krabi, the Thai regional government, the tribal chief, the village chief of Koh Phi Phi, had to meet her when she showed up. No one was allowed to come to the island. We were on lockdown, and they let her come to the island.
Amazing.
I came with my little plant.
And she came with her. She had her little house plant, and I'm like, she walks off, and at this time, she still couldn't speak any English. So we're Google Translate, trying to work it out. And we stay together. And we lived together just as friends. And I was still with the other girl. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't there was one little thing where I was like, we cuddled a little bit and she was like, no, this isn't right for me. And I was like, okay, I respect that. I respect you. And it came to a point where eventually lockdown subsided and flights weren't back on, but we could travel around Thailand again. And we were like, we got to get off of Koh Phi Phi. This has been this is too small. I mean, it was amazing. I got to free dive Maya Bay.
Oh yeah.
Free dive Maya Bay with no one there, by myself, all of there was no speedboat traffic, no tourists. It's complete nature just came back. I was gathering wild morning glory greens. We're eating coconut. We're fishing for mantis shrimp. I'll send you pictures. I paid someone to make fish traps. So I'd go out every morning. I go out every morning fishing. I go out every morning fishing.
Heavenly. Sounds heavenly.
It was heavenly. And so we went and we left. We went to Koh Samui, and we got a new place, and this other girl was still with us, and travel started to subside. And Kate and I, our friendship had grown during that time, and she'd started to learn to speak English, and we really realized we had a lot of similar interests. And
plus he was very, very first human in my entire life who was smarter than I am. And I'm not speaking about education, about university, school. I mean about life knowledge, life experience. So I never meet people who were on the same level or even smarter than I am about it. So and he was very first human who actually were smarter and who can actually teach me to do something.
Yeah, cool. So cool.
It's amazing for me.
And so it got to a point where I was still hooking up with this other girl, and she was fine with it. She was just third wheeling, but COVID, Kate's third wheeling, but COVID. And she was adamant she did not want to be with me. You know, she was not interested in me romantically whatsoever. And I got to a point where I realized, I said to her, I was like, I'm completely in love with you.
Wow.
I was like, I'm completely in love with you. And I get that you don't want to be with me. And I've been through this in my life before.
Right.
So I'm cool just being friends. And if you're
you had to tell her. You had to tell her.
I had to tell her I'm completely in love with you.
Kate, what did you think about that?
I just didn't feel anything, honestly. Like nothing. I have to say that one day I start to get butterflies in my stomach, and then I start to like wondering what is actually going on here. Because before he used to always ask, not always, but he asked me a few times, like, "Can I kiss you?" And I was answering no, because I don't feel it. Like I don't want. Yeah.
But that's how I am. I'm like very like consent. You know what I mean? I'm like, can I kiss you? And she's like, no. I'm like, okay.
So, but one day I started to get butterflies in my stomach, and I asked him if he can teach me how to drive a car. So we went for a drive.
Aww.
We went on the beach at night. We were sitting on the beach, and he asked
Wait,
me.
can I say one before we get there? I just want to say,
Okay.
before that happened, I got to a point where, you know, I was hooking up with this other chick, and I realized that I valued just spending time with Kate.
Mm-hmm.
I got more joy and pleasure from just spending time with Kate than I did from having sex with this other woman. And I had to tell this other girl that. I had to say, listen, I can't hook up with you anymore. I can't hook up with you anymore because I know that this isn't right for me. And even though she doesn't want to be with me, I know that somehow she was like, we were like friends, we're buddies. You know, she's like, I'm not going to be with you. She's like, but I'll be your wing woman. And with me, she's like, we're going to find the girl that's perfect for you. You know, and I was like, look how gorgeous she is. I was like, if I can roll around with a wing woman like this, I'll be able to pull. If I'm rolling around with her, I'll be able to pull anyone. You know, so I'm like,
one part of you said, and the other part was like, but I'm in love with you.
Yeah, exactly. But I've been in this situation before, and I knew I had to accept it. You know what I mean? It's like you can either. It's like that analogy of like grabbing onto the rope. You know, I'm like, I have to let go. And it was COVID, and I knew I have 5 sisters, and so I was always raised like,
wow.
I was always raised like, yo, you support women. It's a man's role to be supportive of women no matter what, right? And so and
strong women love to support men.
And strong women love to support men. Absolutely, yeah. And so I was literally like, I was like, you know, it's COVID. She doesn't have a job. I have the resources. This is what God put in my lap, and I'm gonna, yeah, exactly. I'm gonna do what I can to, even if it's not romantic, like I'm gonna take care of her, you know. And I told her a couple times, I was like, if you feel uncomfortable and you know you don't want to stay with me, I was like, I'll help you get a new place and keep, you know, place where you're not with me. I don't want you to feel obligated to live.
And just to interject, when I said strong women like to take care of men, I didn't mean necessarily financial. I meant there's a lot of things that women do just with regards to taking care of or being there, or just kind of the sensitivity, especially.
It's not woman's responsibility to take care of men financial.
Kate takes care of me, and she's so strong, and she takes care of me in every way, and in every way, she's.
I'm so happy to hear it. You guys are adorable, man. You're so
immaculate.
Cute. So wait, are you engaged?
We're engaged. We're gonna. You think it? We haven't even gotten to the sauce.
Scratch the service.
We're at the tip of the iceberg right now, Bessie. Okay, like this love story it's a love story.
So I can't wait to hear more. I just want to say to the viewers, thank you again for tuning into Music Train episode 10, season 3. This is a love story. We're talking to Max and Kate today. Their love story encompasses so much about what makes life beautiful, these special magical moments that lead us together, and we take these leaps of faith. And if it doesn't exactly fit in the construct of our idea of what love is or how it should look, I think it eventually shows us that the puzzle will be formed and will give us our dream come true, which apparently are these two lovebirds. You are watching an exclusive on the Music Train. My name is Vessi Mink. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. Invite your friends. If you have a beautiful story that you'd like to share, definitely reach out to me at Vessi Mink, VESSYMINK, everywhere on X, formerly Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, all the places. And thank you again. Please, I'd like to hand over the mic. And we will end this segment with a song that I'm going to write in the moment, taking from these notes of your beautiful share. We have about 20 minutes left before that.
Okay,
and I don't want to rush you. I don't want to rush you.
No, it's all good. We'll get it done. So we're actually, it's gonna work out. It's gonna.
I want to see the movie. I'm just saying, Max and Kate. I mean, I just see Max and Kate.
It's gonna time out just perfectly. So what happens is that we eventually
went for a drive.
We went for a drive
on the beach, and he asked me the same question again.
Can I
kiss you? And it was first time when I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to say no, and I didn't want to say yes. So I said, I don't know. And he just kissed me.
And so I kissed her.
And it was great. It was like something.
It was magical.
Changing, yeah.
Yeah, it was magical. And
then we went back home.
And then we went back home.
I fell asleep. He fell asleep.
Yeah.
We still sleep separate, yeah.
We still slept in separate bedrooms.
I wake up in the morning and he's not in the house. He's just not there. He's not there.
Okay. Where were you?
He sent me a message. Please, pack your stuff. I have surprise for you. So I'm packing my stuff. We're moving out of the
chills.
house.
So many chills, you guys.
We're moving out of the house. And we're moving into the new, gorgeous, like beautiful, crazy view villa in Thailand. Like I was like surprised.
I was poor LARPing, honestly. I was broke LARPing for the entire time so this entire time I was with her, I was like, we were making do all together on like $300-$400 a month.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when she kissed me, I was like, dude, screw this. I have money. And I went and I got us a 4-bedroom house
with 2 kitchens,
with 2 kitchens, pools, two swimming pools. Like I got us a house.
So you weren't like you wanted her to for you and not for the monetary portion, which is beautiful.
Yeah, when I'm
so beautiful.
When I'm single, I don't flex. Like if you saw me, you'd think I'm homeless. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I know. I have friends, lots of friends like that. That's the way to find the truth.
Yeah, and she kissed me, and I was like, "Hey, I gotta show you something. Like, actually, we don't have to struggle.
Aww.
You know, actually, we don't have to struggle. You know." And so we got a house, and eventually we dated.
Yeah, we had our bedrooms. We didn't sleep together. We were like,
I gave her own bedroom.
Sometimes we're watching a movie together or like cuddling or something.
Sometimes not, but we'd set up dates with each other. And we were living in the same house. And then slowly we end up. And then what happened is actually, visas ran up, borders opened in Thailand, and all of a sudden, it's like we have to leave Thailand.
What was the time span there? Is that about 18 months, would you say? From when?
No, that was at that point. We're talking about when did we leave Thailand? September. So we're talking about
screenshot on January.
We've gone from January to September now. So now we're in September, and it's September, and we're getting ready to leave Koh Samui. We're now a couple. Mm-hmm. We're now together.
Yeah.
And we've got to leave. Our visas are running up, and we've got to leave Thailand, right? Which means that we have to go to Bangkok because we need to go to a hospital and
an adventure.
COVID tests.
Yeah, I
Oh
do
my God.
COVID
Oh,
tests, and
so
we
painful.
and she's
Mm.
Russian and I'm American,
Mhm.
and we need to get visas somewhere, and everyone's borders are closed, but we have to leave Thailand.
Mm.
Yeah, very few places where we can go
And
together.
so our options were Zanzibar and Georgia or Bali.
Mm.
But we didn't know Bali was an option at the time. So it was just Zanzibar and Georgia. And so we're like, okay, are we going to Africa or are we going to Georgia? And we weren't really excited about either,
Mm.
but we were excited about each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know? And we knew that we needed to stay together.
Yeah.
And 2 days before we were gonna fly to Georgia, I got a text message from a friend that said he had a business in Bali and could sponsor my business visa in Bali.
What?
Literally 2 days before our visa expired, I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, send me your passports." I sent them. We went down. Our hotel happened to be literally right around the corner from the Indonesian embassy. We're gonna skip over some parts of the story. Like, we had a landlord that tried to kill us in Bangkok, and the police and the Thai police had to escape. We both I was on the phone with the U.S. embassy. I had the door bolted closed as like 7 methed out Chinese dudes with knives were trying to break into the apartment to stab us. And I was like, I had this moment where I was like, am I going to grab a knife and defend myself? And instead I got down on my knees and I said the Lord's Prayer. I found out she was on her knees in the bedroom doing the exact same thing at the exact same time. At that moment, the police officer shows up, and at that exact moment, the police officer shows up. He comes in. I speak to him in Thai. He understands everything. He gets that the guys are like on drugs and trying to fuck with us. And he's like, okay, no problem. He gets us out of there. We go to a new hotel. Turns out to be right where the embassy is. We get our tickets. We fly to Bali. I find Pancake Swap. I make $95,000 while we're on the plane. Yeah, I make 95 grand while we're on the plane. We go.
We got a dog.
covers our entire.
Wait. What did you say? Did you say you got a dog?
Yeah, we got a dog right after we landed from Thailand.
We landed to Bali. We landed in Bali. We rented a great house. And then, Booty, come here. Booty, come.
Go. He's our love.
Edie.
Go up.
Edie.
You guys are so cute.
So we here he is.
Come here.
And so we got, this is Booty. so we got this little guy from the bird market. When we got here, we got a dog, and that was kind of us saying like, we're staying together no matter what. You know?
Yes.
And
love for the win.
Yeah, and then what we did, and then what happened was, and that was it. We got to Bali. So now, how we end up getting engaged, because we've been living here in Bali for about 3 years now. There's been some rough patches, some good patches. It's been topsy turvy. I started a software development company here.
Wow.
Invested in one of the former supply chain security infrastructure devs from MetaMask named E10. Called Omakase Dev. So I funded that business, and it's been a bumpy road, crypto bear market. It's been a lot of volatility, but we've been able to pull through.
Awesome.
And then what happened is in 2008, I did this event called The Longest Walk, which you can go and look it up.
The Longest Walk?
The Longest Walk. Yeah, I walked from Alcatraz to Dota Desert Rock, New Mexico, to Window Rock, New Mexico, and visited every tribal reservation along the way.
Amazing.
Basically to collect the grievances from the tribes with regards to treaty rights, right? And on this walk, the first sweat lodge of the walk, I was in the sweat lodge. I grew up around the fireplace in the sweat lodge, Native American church, right? Mm-hmm. So the very first sweat lodge of the walk, I'm there, and the chanupa, the sacred pipe, goes around the sweat. And this chanupa is he said 7 times 7 generations it's been in his family. So it's a really old pipe, and it's never gone out before. But I was sitting in the west door of the sweat, and when the chanupa,
it's never gone out. The pipe's never gone out.
It's never gone out. But I was sitting in the west door, and when it came around to me and it landed on me in the west door, that pipe went out. and the medicine man, the Pejuta Wicasa, is named Grey Wolf. He has a vision. And so when I get out of the sweat, he comes up to me and he tells me, he says, he said, nephew, I had a vision when that pipe went out on you. This pipe has never gone out. 7 times 7 generations, sacred Chanupa. I had a vision, and you're gonna be a holy man one day. He said, you're gonna be a holy man, and there's gonna come a time in your life where you're going to be standing at the water's edge where 2 waters meet, and you're going to take a leaf from a tree, and you're going to know the true meaning of life. And I was like, uncle, they like to, sometimes native uncles, they like to showboat, you know what I mean? So okay, baby, they like to showboat, and you know, they'll do it for show and say these things, but it was it stuck with me. I have an eidetic memory. I remembered it, you know? And so a couple weeks ago, we were in Nusa Dua, or we were here in Bali, and Kate had a dream. You want to say, Kate?
Yeah, I was having a dream, right? Like almost in the morning. We took a walk on the beach with our dog. So, and when I woke up, Max already were awake, and I asked him, like, just waking up, I was like, my love, let's go on the beach, let's take a walk. Because I expected, like, we can go right now in the morning. And he say, yeah, let's go, but for a sunset. I'm like, okay, whatever. So, and we went for on the beach for a sunset, and that's your part again.
Yeah, so we go for sunset, and we get there, and there's a Balinese temple there, and we see the sign, and we're like, oh, okay, it's a temple. We can't walk the dog here. And I put some tobacco down at the temple. And normally I just put like 1 cigarette or 4 cigarettes, but for some reason I was like, I'm going to put a whole pack down. So I put a whole pack of cigarettes down where all the offerings are at the temple. And then we walk.
And the place where we came for a walk, we never been there before.
We've never been there before. It's the first time.
Bali show us like itself from different like side, from different perspective, like absolutely different.
We've never been to this beach
magical,
before. It's the first time. And we go, and it's this little peninsula right at the very tip of Nusa Dua. And so it's like, it's got, you look to the left and there's a beach. You're on this thin little strip, and you look to the right and there's a beach, right? So you're on this thin little isthmus. I think that's what they call it, an isthmus, right? And it's really, really small little isthmus, so where 2 waters meet, right? And I go out to the end, and we go out there, and we're just standing there, and the sun is setting. And I've wanted to propose to Kate for a long time, but it's been bumpy with the business, you know, and I haven't thought that it would be responsible to go and buy her the engagement ring that she deserves. You know, when I've got employees, I've got team members, got things like that. I got server hosting bill. You know, it's like I've got a lot of responsibility, and to just go and pop off and buy an expensive rock and ring.
I'm glad you didn't do that, because I would feel super guilty for that.
Yeah, she would. You know what I mean? When you know we've got local team members, it would be egregious. It's not right, you know. And I stood there, and I looked at her, and the light was so perfect, and the place was perfect. And I just looked at the spot. I was like, this is the perfect place to propose. And I was like, but I don't have a ring. I was like, the time is perfect, the place is perfect. I don't have a ring though. And at that moment, I looked up, and I saw there's a sawtooth pine there. I saw the leaf of the pine tree. And my uncle's words from all the way back in 2008 came back to me. He said, there's going to come a time in your life when you're going to look up. You're going to be standing between 2 waters. You're going to see a tree. You're going to look up and see a tree. You're going to take a leaf from that tree, and you're going to know the true meaning of life. And I reached up, and I reached up, and I grabbed that leaf. and the leaf has thorns, and the first thing I felt was pain.
Right.
First thing I felt was pain as those thorns jabbed into my fingertips. And I knew that it was going to be painful. I knew that it was going to be painful to make that ring, you know? And I took that leaf down and I split it in two pieces. I split it in two pieces and I gave half of it back to Mother Earth. I took one half, I tore it into three pieces, and I sat there and I took that thorny leaf and I braided it. And Kate didn't know what I was doing. She just saw me fiddling around as the sun is setting. She saw me grab a leaf and tear it, and I'm messing with it.
You're what? What, Kate?
Something important, like
she knows I was doing something important, but she didn't know what. You know?
You didn't know. You didn't know he's making a ring.
No,
but she just knew. She just knew. She can tell when I'm focused. She can tell. She knows me. She knows me. We're one. Like that's how connected we are. We are one, you know, and I sat there and the sun had set by the time I got it all the way down to the end. The sun had set. I asked her, I said, Kate, I need some light here. She didn't ask any questions. She immediately flips the light on, puts the light on what I'm doing, still doesn't ask me a question, just lets me focus. And once I get it braided all the way down to the end, I get it braided all the way down to the end, and I tell her, Kate, give me your hand. I need your hand. She's like, which one? I'm like, your left hand. Give me your left hand. I take her left hand, and there it is.
Oh,
there's our engagement ring. That's
beautiful. Hold on. I want to spotlight you. Hold on. Solo.
Yeah.
There it is. So beautiful.
So there it is. Yeah, and so it's beautiful, right? And
you're both so beautiful. The story's so beautiful. I have tears in my eyes.
Yeah, so I braided that ring out of that sawtooth palm, and put it on her finger, and I actually I braided it, and I got down on one knee and I sized it to her finger, and I tied it all into itself, and I got down on one knee and I asked her to stand up. I said, Kate, will you marry me?
Yes.
And she said yes.
Yes.
So yeah,
congratulations.
We'll be married in the Native American church. And
where are you getting married? When?
We don't know where it will be exactly, but I already talked to my brother Shane. He's a roadman in the Native American church, and he'll be running our wedding meeting and our wedding ceremony, and so we'll decide exactly where it's going to be at the proper time, but
probably next year, most
likely next year in the springtime. Yeah.
This is an engagement announcement of announcements. You heard it first here, you guys, on the Music Train. No, I know that people that you love already know that you've done that. This is happening.
Yeah, of course.
But I didn't know, and I've just met you. So for me, I'm like, my eyes are filled with tears.
No, we were so grateful to hear that you'd write the song, and I was like, when you're like, tell us your love story, I was like, well, we got a good one for you, Bessie. Like, we got a good one. So I know we're coming from time. So like, you got the story now. So
yes, and I'm gonna kind of do a little kind of thing in the moment before we close this segment of the Music Train. This is my microphone. You see my.
If you don't mind, do you mind if we stop our camera? I'm gonna smoke a cigarette while you.
Oh, I can't do that. I can't end it till the show is done.
No, I'm not gonna. No.
Oh, your camera. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Of course. I thought you were going to leave.
We're still here with you on audio. I just need just need to move around a little bit. So we're listening.
All right, here we go. All right, you guys, thank you for tuning in to episode 10 of season 3 of the Music Train, a love story with Max and Kate. I'm going to write a song right now with regards to all that I've heard here. I've been taking notes. This is an amazing couple that came through to share their story today. Big up to the X platform for allowing me to find you guys, and vice versa. And here we go. Let's see here. And I'm going to press record because I record each of them. And everybody, never give up on love. That's my message. And with this amazing power couple here, I'm so happy for you guys. So happy to meet you. So happy to know you. And I'm going to press record. And we are
And
going.
Bessie, you're invited to the wedding too. Right?
Yes. Right
You're
on.
totally invited to the wedding.
I've sung at a few weddings.
Oh, I wouldn't have anyone else. I would not have anyone else sing at my wedding.
Oh, wow. Amazing. I would love to. I've sung at weddings, even if I couldn't literally be there. They've my friends who got married, they did like a stream of the song, and I've written songs for.
Oh no, we'll get
couples.
you. We will get you there. We'll get you there.
I'm just so happy you found each other, because in a world full of people that are, there's so much. If only everybody could. That's what I wish for everybody, that everybody could find their. And so love.game. What is love.game before we?
So basically, I just saw a lot of people that were launching like pre-sales, scams, all these different crypto token shitcoin scams, and I just literally did an airdrop. We raised no dev share. We took no dev share. We built a DeFi protocol. 100% of the tokens were distributed via airdrop. 100% of the liquidity was bootstrapped by community members. 100% of the development was voluntarily contributed by community members.
Amazing.
So there's no VC, it's 100% community action. We put it together and we airdropped love to everyone. And the supply of love is infinite and elastic. So it has deflationary and inflationary mechanisms. And there's a lot. I can't give you the whole spiel right now, but there's a lot.
You have to come back. You have to come back and let's talk more about
AI matchmaking, something like that,
when people share their stories and then it inspires others, right? And then they get rewarded for really sharing. People are afraid to share. They're also afraid to remember, because my husband and I have been together 15 years. That's a long time. And, we have an amazing story I'd love to share with you one day. And yes, this is that's like life, right?
Yeah,
it's life. It's life. It's such a gift to have you here today. Thank you again, Kate. So nice to meet you, Max. So nice to meet you both live here on the Music Train. This one's for you. If I could get one word from each of you, I'm going to derive something with all of this.
How about
one word to sum it up?
Hope.
Hope. Okay. And Kate?
What was the question?
One word. Just one word.
One
sum it up. Universe.
There's so much hope in the universe. Each seed is planted for the universe. The longest walk yields the greatest crop. There's so much hope in the universe. He said, "Can I kiss you?" She said, "I don't know." Initially it was no. When she said, "I don't know," he took a chance and their lips touched. Because there's so much hope in the universe. Oh, love. We needed to know. We needed each other to stay together through the thick and thin of it. She super liked him. And all he saw on that great swim after it all was her face. A screenshot, an embrace, a happenstance meeting at a pizza place. There's so much hope in the universe. There's so much hope in the We are one. We are one. We are one. So much hope in the universe. I love you with all that I am. You. Stars collided. Now I am, you am, I am, we am, she is. Like my chariot, a flame lighting the way, and I, yes, the same. May you always be blessed. May you always know love. May you always have all the things you need. 'Cause there's so much hope in the universe. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
So
Bessie.
great.
It's so amazing.
Hey, so are you. My eyes are like, they're tears of joy, but they're not. The tears aren't falling, but they're in my, like, you know.
I'm
Thank you
bawling.
so much, you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're so incredible. I
Okay,
can't
thank you,
wait.
Max, for sharing your story, because, you know, like, I like, we did it together. We wrote this song. This is a co-write, you guys. You know, like, doesn't everyone need a song? Don't you guys feel like that? I feel like
I think
everybody,
everyone needs a song.
they
I think
do.
it's 100% everyone needs a song.
I love
And
music.
yeah, and you know, Bessie, we have so much more to talk about. I can't wait. I know that we're coming. Somehow we did that in an hour.
Yes, I know. It was great.
And
Amazing.
we rushed a little bit. I can't wait to tell you some of the other.
There's a few things you threw in. I have questions, but I mean, you know, that we've got some more shows coming up in time. Yes, God willing, and in the other life, the next one, right? I don't know. I feel like somehow our energy does go on. I don't exactly know what it looks like, but we've been here before. I feel like we've been here before. Don't you guys feel like that? You have found each other a million times, the two of you. I just know it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Lots of love to you guys. See you next week for episode 11. And thank you again, everybody, for tuning into the Music Train. Big up to Metaverse Generation, Mr. BK Han out of Singapore, and all the crew working so hard. And the two of you have to meet our dear friend Tegu Ostenrick, who builds sustainable reef coral in the bottom of the Jakarta Sea. You have to meet Tegu.
Yeah, one of our team members is very passionate about coral reef restoration right now, and may already be on his radar. So.
Yes, I think so. He's incredible. He went to school in Berlin. He has a lifetime of he's a legend. I'm thinking maybe he was the guy that was like this. I don't know. When you said that, I thought of Tegu. I don't know. You never know. All right.
Our Heal the Earth.
Yes, Heal the Earth with love.
Talk to you soon.
Rock on, you guys. Thank you again so much. Thank you.
Bye, Bessie.
Bye, Max. Bye, Kate.
Bye.